EastEnders Jasmine Fisher has her day in court next week, as the trial for Anthony Truman's murder reaches a tense climax. With the Slaters and the Trumans divided, and secrets from the past set to be exposed, will Jasmine be sent down for doing in her dad? Or can she convince the jury it was self-defense? It's finally time for Jasmine to face the music, begins our EastEnders insider. Anthony's shocking death has torn two families apart, and Jasmine's future is hanging in the balance. She has an important choice to make that could determine her fate. Let's hope she makes the right one. Overwhelmed by the idea of facing his son's killer in person, grieving Patrick has submitted a video statement about Jasmine. Super lawyer Richie is on the case, and fears this could seriously hamper her client's chances of freedom. In desperation, she begs Kat to speak up on behalf of her granddaughter and give her own character statement in court. Kat refuses, but when Zoe shares her fears Josh might leave Walford for good if his twin sister is found guilty, the conflicted landlady reconsiders her stance. Meanwhile, Josh feels as though he's let Jasmine down, having bonded with Patrick and the Trumans, who just want justice for Anthony, despite his bad behavior. As Josh visits Jasmine in prison to determine exactly what happened on Christmas night, will he finally get the truth? And could it change his mind about sticking around? Sandra is keen for her and Josh to make a fresh start away from all this drama, our source reminds us. She's found a place for them to live in Southend. Only Jasmine and Zoe don't know yet. Kat is still unsure about defending Jasmine in court, and quizzes Sandra on the girl's upbringing. Will Sandra reveal the truth about why Jasmine was adopted into another family when she was 8 years old? Kat digests what Sandra tells her, then prepares to take the stand. It's a tricky situation for Kat to navigate, as her shaky relationship with Zoe may be jeopardized by defending Jasmine. Can Kat really trust her volatile granddaughter? As the trial continues, Jasmine gets ready to tell her side of the story, hoping she can avoid a life behind bars. The accused finds herself with an impossible dilemma: plead guilty in the hope she might get a shorter sentence, or give her own statement explaining things from her point of view. The moment comes for the verdict to be read out, shares our insider. The Trumans and the Slaters are on tenterhooks, with Josh caught in the middle as to where his loyalties really lie. Let's just say not everyone is going to be happy with the verdict. Back at the Vic, Kat attempts to make sense of the events of the day. Desperate to move on from the trial's twists and turns, she makes a bold declaration about her family's future. Can the community move on from the murder? In the shadowy heart of Albert Square, where secrets rarely stay buried, EastEnders is about to unleash one of its most gripping moral dilemmas yet. And this time, it's Jasmine standing at the center of the storm. The courtroom feels suffocating. Jasmine sits frozen, her hands clasped tightly in her lap, knuckles pale against the harsh fluorescent lighting. Every whispered murmur from the public gallery feels like a judgment. Every glance from the jury feels like a verdict already written. But it's not just her future hanging in the balance, it's her conscience. Because Jasmine knows the truth, and the truth could destroy everything. As the murder trial unfolds, the prosecution paints a damning picture, one that places Jasmine dangerously close to the crime. Motive, opportunity, a tangled web of lies that seem impossible to escape. But what no one in that courtroom knows is that Jasmine is hiding something far bigger than anyone suspects. A secret that could set her free, or condemn someone she loves. Flashbacks ripple through her mind like a haunting echo. The night everything changed. Raised voices. A shattered glass. A moment of panic that spiraled into irreversible chaos. Jasmine wasn't supposed to be there. She wasn't supposed to see what she saw. But now, she's the only one who can reveal what really happened. And that's the problem. Because telling the truth doesn't just mean justice, it means betrayal. Across the courtroom, her eyes flicker toward a familiar face. Someone who once promised to protect her. Someone who now sits silently, their fate unknowingly resting in Jasmine's hands. The weight of that realization presses down on her chest, making it hard to breathe. What is the right choice? Save herself and ruin them? Or stay silent and risk losing everything? The tension reaches breaking point when the defense calls Jasmine to the stand. Time slows. The room falls into a deafening silence as she rises, every step toward the witness box heavier than the last. This is it. The moment that will define her life forever. The oath is taken. The questions begin. And suddenly, Jasmine is no longer just a witness. She's the key to the entire case. Her voice trembles at first, barely audible. But as the truth claws its way to the surface, something shifts. Fear gives way to resolve. Tears blur her vision, but she doesn't look away. Because she knows there's no turning back now. The courtroom hangs on her every word. One sentence could change everything. One truth could shatter lives. And as Jasmine opens her mouth to speak, the entire square seems to hold its breath, because whatever she says next won't just decide the outcome of the trial. It will decide who she becomes.